Sing ciao everybody. Just landed in Ho Chi Minh Airport. I've got a good one for you today. I flew on the world's worst airline and got a few ideas and comments about that one. And I've flown with them a few times before, so I've been wanting to make this VART for some time now, but I thought I'd give them an extra chance. So just landed here and thought I'd film the intro to this VART while I'm waiting for the baggage. Not unusual for any airline to have to wait a long time for the baggage. But you know, we'll get there. And then I'm going to go and get a coffee, and I'll tell you all about my experience on the world's worst airline. So come along, stick with me. After I filmed that intro, I came back to the baggage collection, which we waited for some time, and my bag was the first one out, so it's going to be a good day. Right, let's go find a coffee. So it's 6 in the morning. No thank you. About 31 degrees. Just doing the old international to domestic transfer. But anyway, so I flew on a low-cost airline from Australia, and I went online to check people's comments, as you do, and one of the comments there said that it's the worst airline in the world, and a lot of people documented difficulties in late changes, cancelled flights, lost bags, and a general lack of customer service. So people were explaining what their problems were, but the airline wasn't doing too much about it. But yeah, I flew with trepidation, I have to say. It is a low-cost, no-frills airline, so we don't have any water. There's water to flush the WC, but there's no water to drink. We don't have any snacks, foods, beverages, etc. They will whiz a trolley through once in 8 hours and ask if you want to buy anything. And that's the beauty of this low-cost airline. So while they're low-cost and low service and imagine what you want and then just drop your standard a little bit lower. That's what they are. But they are coin operated, so the beauty is if you pull out some coin, they're happy to put that in their pocket and do whatever you like. So low cost but coin operated. Anyway, it's a bit of a story because the cost is extremely low, and I'll detail that in a minute. And the service wasn't existent, so there was no service. So I can't say it was bad service because there was no service. And the crew, well, the flighties, what do they call them? Ushers, the people that show you where to sit. As soon as there was coin up for grab, the hand was out. So that was good. Anyway, I'll just switch the camera around. I can see my coffee shop over there. Get over there, order a coffee, and sit down. As usual, I'm heading to Highlands here at Saigon Domestic, and going to smash in a coffee. Probably won't smash any food, and then it's very early in the morning. I don't go till mid-morning, and I'll probably grab a beer as it gets closer to mid-morning, so I don't look like a dill. That was the walk actually. When I was talking to you a moment ago walking, that's the walk from the international terminal to the domestic terminal. So it's 5 minutes and 400 metres in my view. Pretty easy going. Alright, here we are. We've got a plastic straw in a paper bag. So I guess we treat the plastic like gold and throw the paper away. We've got a coffee in a plastic cup with a plastic lid. And a plastic holder. And this is going to be fantastic. Oh, sensational. And then I got myself a banh mi hu, which is a mini banh mi. This one's chicken. It's just basically bread with chicken pate. So before I go on, I'm just going to check that the music here is not too loud for you, and then I'll tell you about the worst airline. Just at the cafe, and we're collecting some greens to go into the kale shake, I guess, from the garden out the front. That banh mi is crispy. That's where the kale comes from, the garden out the front of the cafe. So let's get into it. This is good coffee, Cafe Suadar. It's coffee with condensed milk. It's sweet as and strong as can be. It took me a bit of time to get back to you, so I've been nailing this little mini banh mi, which has chicken and cheese inside basically. It's not bad after an 8-hour flight. Anyway, how to talk with a full mouth. This airline, for an 8-hour flight, not this time, I haven't looked it up, but last time I flew on them, the 8-hour flight was $82.40 Australian dollars, so that's pretty cheap. The services and charges were about $220 Australian dollars. 130 of that was a fuel levy. And then I spent extra money for premium check-in and extra money to get a seat with padding, $75. But the actual flight was $82.40. So it is quite cheap. I haven't had a problem. I'm surprised. I keep testing them out with a view to making this video after I've been shit-canned by them. And it's all gone well. If you're expecting full frills and somebody to powder your nose for you and clean the toilets, you're not going to get that on this airline. This airline is rock in, sit down. The chairs are a bit like you'd have in your kitchen at home around the dining table. So they feel good when you sit down, but after 40 minutes, they're burning into your backside. They come through and dish out food to people that have pre-purchased food. The food is cheap, so I don't buy any food. But if you pre-purchase it, you get 30% off, 20% off. I don't know. And what I have bought is just a soft drink and a bag of cashews on occasion. Didn't buy anything on this last flight. Brought a muesli bar from home and a bottle of water from home. I have had flights changed by this airline, and luckily I have a Vietnamese-speaking partner, and she can talk with the airline. I think if you had to talk with the airline in English, it would be a problem. And got good information and can actually cancel that flight up to 3 hours before departure. So you pay $84, you expect that you've done your dough. You can actually cancel that flight up to 3 hours before departure. So I have done that, and the problem that time was I booked it through a travel agent intermediary. So I'm dealing not just with the airline that seemed to be responsive, even though they are the worst airline in the world, but the travel agency was not that responsive, Australian travel agent, or a global travel agency that has an Australian headquarters. I'm getting a refund. It's coming. I thought it was coming in 6 weeks, so I did look it up just a moment ago, but it's coming in 12 weeks. So you're going to wait 12 weeks for my money back. That flight I cancelled was
the whole shooting match was about $600, so it's a fair amount of money coming back. And that was on a low-cost airlines. The day I cancelled that flight, I booked at 7 in the morning. I booked a flight for 7 p.m. To go on my 8-hour flight with Cathay Pacific. Cost $100 more, so it was only $100 more on a full-service airline. And booking on the day of travel, so I get $600 back, but I've spent $700. So I don't know what that all adds up to, but at the moment I'm out of pocket. Anyway, on the flight, you can buy stuff. They don't come around all that often. Once in 8 hours, it'd be pushing it. I just put the eye mask on, and I've got a hoodie in my bag back here, and I slept for 5 hours on that last flight. I can't say it's the worst airline in the world. I've been on a couple of shit shows, and this one seems to be clean and adequate. The reason I also can't say that is I haven't flown on every airline in the world. So somehow I managed to get a bunch of reviews from a bunch of people that had flown on every airline and could actually rate this one as the worst. For me, I got here, I didn't get my head jammed in overhead luggage compartment because of turbulence, and I'm having a coffee on time. We're due at 5 a.m, we landed at 5 a.m. I started to bitch about the delay in baggage, and as you saw, my bag came out first, so it's not that bad. I would rate them as a low-cost airline. I wouldn't rate them any worse than any other airline. Service-wise, they're as bad as every airline. I mean, I've flown on full-cost airlines, and unless you're flying on, I don't want to rank them, but I'd say Emirates and Singapore Airlines seem to have responsive service, but everybody else is a raffle after that. So I'd say if you see a low-cost airline, give it a shot. Look up the reviews, but don't be swayed by those reviews. Think about them in the context of, let's see how this goes for me. It's getting a bit busier here now. It's 6:37. There's a bunch of kids turned up. Had some beautiful ladies walk past, which took my attention. And my plan is, and they've just turned the music up, and my plan is to sit here for an hour, go and check in at the International, have a beer down there for an hour, and go on my next flight. So look, put in the comments what you think this airline is, and where you think I am flying to and from. And then also let me know your experience with low-cost airlines, because they are a bit of a raffle. And some of them are low cost but do the job, and some of them are low cost at the expense of sanity. On this airline, I went to the bathroom twice on the flight. I take my shoes off and walk around in socks on the plane, and it's an airline where you go to the bathroom and your socks don't get wet, so something's going on there. Other full cost airlines, you walk in there and there's water all over the floor. Well, I'm assuming it's water, may not be. I fly them every time because, just like them, I'm coin operated, so I like to keep the cost down. If I can save $1,000 a month, I do. Now, after you've commented, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're driving the subscribers up, which is good. And if you've got some comments about disasters you've seen on low-cost airlines, let me know, because I fly every month and I really want to know what to avoid. This airline had seats. They were not comfortable after 8 hours. You can move to an empty row. The issue with the airline is an interesting one. It's a bit of a cash grab. And let's just say, at the best case scenario, it's an airline cash grab, but it may be an usher waitress for cash grab. I'll tell you how that goes, and then we'll wrap this one up. What they do is, you've got 3 people in a row, 2 of them are together, 1 person is a lone traveller, and then the 2 people sort of say, could we please move to the row in front, which has nobody, and give this 1 person a bit of space and give us 3 seats for 2 people. Now what happens here is they say, oh, It's a certain amount of dong to do that, which is not much, 40 bucks. And then people pass over their boarding pass and passport with the requisite facilitation payment, and they go away, take that money, and then come back and say, yes, you may move to the next row. Now, where that money goes, I don't know. As you can see, I'm an auditor, and I'd like to see a receipt coming back for that. But you can get an extra row, and I've had the extra row because a couple next to me have moved on occasion, and I've been able to sleep. The naughty girl's just spilling her banh mi on the table, and it's not acceptable to the mother. I did once, when I was checking in, ask for an aisle seat, and they said, oh, extra money. Okay, how much extra money? Well, $5 or something. So I said, okay, I'll do that. Well, I had to go to another queue up. Then they charged me the aisle selection fee, which was in Vietnamese dong. So they have a calculator and calculate it into what it is in Australian money, and then take the money, and then they handwrite a handwritten receipt for probably $3.50 actually, I think of it now, Australian, so it's $2.80 US. But then with that receipt, I go back to the first line and say, there you go, I paid my $5 or whatever, and she gives me an aisle seat. Coin operated, but I've got an aisle seat for $4, so who cares? So I don't think they're the worst airline in the world. I've flown on worse, so they definitely aren't the worst airline in the world. And I haven't flown on every airline, so I can't actually say where they would rank. But if you've had a similar experience on this airline, and I think you know the one I'm talking about, put it in the comments. They get a bad rap online. I didn't have a good comment when I read through it. In fact, I'm encouraging my sister and her family to come here, and I've pointed it to this airline, and then I pointed it to the comments and said it's not as bad as they say, but give it a crack. Like, subscribe. Great to be back in Vietnam. Expect some live streams coming soon, spasmodic live streams. I know I say that. I haven't done the first one yet, but we'll see how we go. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay frosty. And just a hint for those of you that were wondering, this airline commenced some time ago, and when it commenced it was called Bikini Airlines, and the hosty server ladies all wore bikinis. So it's come a long way since Bikini Airlines, and that will give you a hint of which airline I'm talking about. Have a good one. See you in the next one. Oh, look, sorry for adding this on at the end. I've just checked in, and what a classic. Everything I just said, opposite. So have a look at these 3 or 4 short outtakes, and then I'll leave you with it. I am checked in. I'm going for a beer now. I've got 2 hours to launch, and what a shit show. The priority check-in for the next domestic flight. Got checked in the priority check-in section. Unfortunately, that lady was business class and proceeded to uncheck me in and send me to the next check-in line here. So low-cost airlines was checked in accidentally by a business class lady. She unchecked me and sent me down to the premium line where I get to stand behind one person and wait. So I had one lady back there check me in and uncheck me. Got 3 people doing check-in at the premium here, but it doesn't go any faster. There's only one computer and one security guy here just standing around playing on his phone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people to check me in. That's it. Well, good news. I'm at the 6th check-in counter. Apparently my name on this is first name, last name, but they want my 2 middle names as well on the booking for the second leg of my 2-leg flight. And I have to now get that updated by this gentleman here, number 6. Then I go back to number 5 and get my boarding pass. So maybe I spoke too soon on this vlog. I'm sure I checked in with all my names because the names have to match the visa. when you fly internationally. And so I don't know why their documentation has only put first name, last name, because here I am in Vietnam already. But apparently for domestic flights, we need all 4 names. So I'll go to number 6 and then I'll go back to number 5. It's the wacky races. So I've left number, whatever that person was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left number 5, and I now need to go across to these ladies over here to get my middle name on the ticket, even though I'm halfway through my journey. This lady's smiling at me, but she's closed, and the next lady's closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people here, but only one booking now. It was 108,000 dong, which is $5 US. So I rest my case on this video. We've got 7 people here, but only one counter open. She's taken my $5, and now I have my full name on my booking, even though I'm halfway through filming them. And I don't know how many people I've been through now, but they've told me I can go back to lady number 4, and I'll be on the plane. But man number 2, 3, 4 took my bag, so I think my bag's gone. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Onwards. Hello. Beer. That one is rubbish. That one is rubbish. Let's stick with what we know. It's been a tough day. Thank you. A nice smile. Perfect.